to herself. And what I see here from Ninja Pyjamas is a bunch of tools to actually get things started. From Ultra Prime's perspective, how do we start a fight? Because we're going to have an invisible Aurora. We're going to have Rel who's able to stop us. Probably he's going to step up for this next wave. Does Jinhao commit? No, he's going to take his recall. Doesn't seem like there's going to be much doing. Some damage down onto Leave, though. That's the heal from Niket.
Oh, they're still going. They're going to flash right on to Leave, actually. Proc the concussive blows. The barrier comes out, but it's still going to be first blood picked up for Baya as Niket has to get on. Not going to be in a good position to try to fight back in any sense, as looks like actually this dragon will be contested by Ultra Prime. Oh, but Baya just eats a full shockwave combo and gets taken down instantly to start the combat. Another knockup lands onto Niket, though, as Ultra Prime get two back. Doinby and Niket both fall as UP successfully stops.
Saber does not have ultimate, so he's going to walk here the good old-fashioned way. NIP, though, how much more can they grab from this? Uh-oh.
Wow, Leave and Baya just going at it, but now some reinforcements have arrived, and so Leave going to get caught out with the help of Xiaosha, eat the entirety of the culling, and going to go down for the fourth kill.
I'm praying over here. We got NIP most likely taking this dragon. Leave, gotta be a little careful here. Has his flash.
Gets exhausted, has the culling on top of him. Niket's gonna block the majority of that ultimate damage as Saber uses the Weaver's Wall forward to try to push out Doinby and the rest of his crew. The dragon does go over to Ninja's Pyjamas, though, and so they can take that with a victory. However, could look for some more now as Saber has been targeted here by Nayo and it's gonna get eaten by that shockwave and shut down by Doinby. Junhao is not there with the response.
Available here for Doinby, and as long as they can make this play, there's nothing else going here for UP.
Yeah, and Saber just going to face check that brush, run right into Niket's lance, and get targeted once more. Gets the entirety of the Magnus Storm put onto his body as he will go down for the...
You know, so Ultra Prime can feel a little happy about that, but they're going for a dive onto Jiang. He's using the ultimate to clear the wave. Teleports in.
Yeah, gonna get knocked up once again by that crash down. Niket goes from bot lane right to top lane. 2 straight dives results in 2 straight kills for NIP.
And now Force completed for Nayo and Leave.
So NIP, after suffering from what was a bit of a rougher early portion of this game, have done a nice job to bounce back over these last few minutes. However, Doinby might have caught one wave too many as Saber will go forward here. But now Niket's right back into the swing of things with that Magnus Storm. Gonna stun up Saber and take him down for the 3rd straight time. Zhang teleports back in, but it is all too late as Doinby will
available for Doinby. Could be on this next minion wave that he could go for, but by then they'll be too late. No ability for NIP to walk through mid lane. Eve gets chunked to half, and this will be a difficult entrance here for NIP. Maybe they make a play on the backside of this. Teleport behind from solo kill.
Makes it a little bit easier when you got a flank from an Aurora. And remember, a lot of those tools in terms of the ultimate still available on the NIP mid jungle. Shockwave lands on the Xiaosha. He's going to have to flash away, eat up a ton of those rockets, but solo kill will flash forward and pick up the first kill of the fight. Now Nayo has jumped in, chunking out Junhao. The Herald has been claimed already, but NIP want to look for the fight. Another vault breaker forward. There's the cease and desist on Baya, but Ultra Prime doing a nice job to kite back out, and Junhao will pick up another kill. With that win becomes lightning. A 2-for-1 overall, but it looks like everybody will back on away. Ultra Prime overall.
Come out of this replay. Ultra Prime, as we see, have control of the Dragon River.
But Saber gonna be in some trouble now as he eats a full shockwave combo from Doinby, nearly taken out there by just the shock or by just the dissonance. Gonna have to back and head back to a fight via a teleport of some capacity, but Doinby already has gotten himself that top lane tier 1 turret. Ultra Prime, though, have evened up that dragon count. Maybe looking for a play in the mid lane.
Some early poke. Making these lanes as long as possible is huge for NIP. Aside from the fights which have been going their way.
Jog.
No.
Try to catch a wave a little bit too high here as he gets eaten up by that cease and desist. The shockwave comes through for good measure. And Doinby gets himself yet another kill. As well as that mid-tier 1 getting taken down. Xiaosha going to try to do something. He popped the summoner spell Ghost, but he can't do anything on that solo mission. It's going to be a tier 2 also taken by NIP as they've now added the gold.
I feel so vindicated. I feel like I know this is happening. It'll be the Herald and mid. They're going to see if they can steal some camps. This is going to be a huge swing for UP.
And it's either NIP don't know what's happening or they don't feel like it's even worth it to contest, because that's just the Otacon going up. Maybe Baya is going to be able to do something a little bit more In this potential exchange, we're seeing a little bit of skirmishing around the river as Niket does get knocked up by the 3-talent strike, but just posturing at this point as Baya, as I say that, dashes way too forward, goes into an ultimate from Nayo, and he's gonna be able to survive. And now it's Junhao going forward on the other side of things. Saber gets that kill. They almost knock up Doinby. They nearly take him down, but Junhao will still fall. It's a 2-for-1 overall in favor of Ninjas in Pyjamas, but Doinby does have to head back to base. However, the jungler for UP is down. Jungler for both teams are down.
Was another situation, Grapes. Baya getting caught on a mid-wave. Baya getting caught out in the moments before an objective begins.
And you can see some of the thought process there. He had an opportunity to hit on this tier 1 turret.
I think Doinby should just commit. He doesn't have teleport, and he's afraid of playing off of vision, trying not to be spotted so there isn't a Baron. And Ultra Prime are caught unaware. They're trying to reinforce mid lane. They were around the Baron, but too much time had a lot to go.
It's a little bit harder for Ultra Prime, so they're going to have to just face up in a 5v5 as they start up the Baron. Teleport coming in from Jang, but Doinby is on the way. He has returned and will be here for a 5v5.
Huge item spikes and a lot of gold here for Doinby. We're seeing the top laners fight off.
There's the Magnet Storm Shockwave combo, and Saber already gets taken down 2-for-0 to start things off, but it will be Nayo falling on the backside. Solo kill will get singled out by Baya as Ultra Prime are holding the line for now, but the health bars are very dangerously low. Jang trying to fight a 1v2 against Doinby, nearly getting the kill, but will end up falling. It's a 3-for-2 overall.
Happen. If they can find Junhao now, Nayo spawns in 20, Dragon's going to be up. That'll be sole point here for NIP if they can grab this. Junhao, let's see if you can do the race, brother.
It's going to be a very delayed death timer now as Junhao just dashes into his own doom. Doinby will pick up the goal. 45 seconds without an NIP.
Something could have maybe happened there. So Baron's going to get started. This should get ripped here by NIP. Saber is flying in.
Some sort of desperation. There's no way to engage for Ultra Prime, and it's going to cost them a whole lot more than the Baron. Baya has to dash away. The culling comes out, but the cease and desist will cancel that immediately. Solo kill gets himself another, and there's finally one traded back by Jang, but it's going to be all for nothing unless Junhao can now do something about it. Lands that Crescent Guard, but now just going to try to send everybody on NIP back to safety where they can start up the Baron after taking down.
In 2 fights back-to-back. Big Purple Worm's going to go over to them. Junhao's going to get some damage onto mid. Actually, it wouldn't be too... Look at this chokehold, man. Versus Aurel, versus Aurora, just putting all of this damage. I'm looking at the picture-in-picture right now. We might have another fight on our hands, but Dragon's about to fall.
Very low. Who's going to pick it up? Oh, it's stolen away by Nayo, and now another engage comes through. A 3-man Magnet Storm from Niket. It's followed up by that cease and desist on the Baya, but he kites things out nicely and will be able to take the NIP jungler down. Actually gets a double kill, and now Doinby's running the wrong way, but solo kill and leave. Just do too much damage to the front line, and there's the Between Worlds. Sending Ultra Prime to another world of defeat. NIP get themselves the ace, and with Baron in their hands, should be able to wrap up this game 1.
Okay, I was wrong about Leave having the Chovy CS at 15, but we're at 30 minutes and he has 300 CS. So I'm counting that. I'm taking that as a win for myself. As a Leave fan, we're eating good tonight. Another strong fight here from NIP, and honestly, I'm just going to continue to hammer home the top side of Ninjas in Pyjamas really stole away this game.
Yeah, solo kill, a huge team fighting ultimate there. Leave doing a nice job to do a bunch of damage, and Doinby with those critical shockwaves. They're going to be the 3 to wrap up this game, hit the Nexus, and give NIP a...
Your ultimate is going to get a lot of value, and I don't think Leona is it. Leona has spot engage, but can be buffered by the Nautilus. I think we're going to game 3 here, Grapes. I know it's very early, but like... You have the range from the Aphelios to deal with.
Hasn't been a lot of objectives to fight over yet, as now just the first one of them have spawned in that dragon on the bottom side.
Look how problematic though it is. You have a Sivir on one side of the map. Now you got to be careful. That lands, but it's not good enough.
That though does unlock level 5 by stealing away those wolves, but Zhaosha just walking too far, going to get flashed after by Nayo. One more Q would have done it unless he popped the heal in time, but the Justice Punch going to land on the Junhao. Doinby now with the flash away. Saber looking to close the job out, and Baya will jump in to pick up first blood, but it'll go down in the trade as Nayo will make it a 1-for-1. And now the chase can continue. A stolen away stun lands onto Saber, and now NIP looking to continue the aggression. Another 1-for-1 overall as they're going to keep diving that tier 1 turret. It's a triple kill. Picked up. Non-stop aggression here in the jungle for NIP. Constantly trying to steal away some camps, and they're going to look for another fight here. The Moonlight Vigil, though, comes out from Baya, but Gen.G has arrived with a hero's entrance. Already taken down Zhaosha. Baya, though, now has to flash away from the dredge line of Nayo.
With having the Rise here, that you'd be able to combat and match some of the push coming in from Zoe, because I would actually like to see if he's doing lethality max on this Aphelios.
And talk about being a nuisance again. It's Junhao just getting continuously focused down. Everyone going right after this Wukong and taking the Monkey King down. As Nayo gets kill number 5. And looks like more is on the menu here for NIP. Full 5 members on the bot side of the map with a wave crashing in. And things look bleak right now for Zhang and Zhaosha. Nayo popping the Black Mist, now going forward in onto Zhaosha. Solo kill will pick this one up. And Gen.G comes in with a hero's entrance for good measure. Will be a 1 kill taken back onto Niket. But NIP take that every single day of the week. But Gen.G actually teleports down to the bot lane. It'll be NIP not only getting themselves the Harrow that they proc mid, but they're going to get even more. They're going to get that bot lane tier 1 and maybe even the mid lane tier 1 too. With Niket crashing in and just overloading the mid lane.
To the top so they can make sure that they're up on gold, giving over some of those objectives, but now they get to have their cake and eat it too.
Now we did mention Ultra Prime map. Remember, Zhang had themselves that farm advantage. Well, that's going to quickly get erased here. This tower gets taken down by Ninjas in Pyjamas. Looks like UP getting some sort of trade on the bot side of the map, but overall NIP pretty happy about how things are going at this point in the game. Not a lot of major objectives to fight for, so just making sure you're trading gold onto members who need it. As Solo Kill going to get a nice influx of cash.
How depressing is this, by the way, as Junhao?
And we've talked about Junhao as being a very consistent player on this Ultra Prime roster. Somebody who, even from split 2 and 1, had pretty solid moments throughout the split. Right now it's Nayo having the better end of things against him. However, as I say that, he comes in and one-shots Niket to pick up the first kill of this fight around the mid lane. Teleport comes in from Solo Kill, but he gets instantly targeted and shut down by Baya. 2-0 in favor of UP so far. And those a lot of shurikens on that Aphelios as Ultra Prime looking to continue the chase. Saber does not have the range to go for a rune prison, and so NIP will get out with the 3 of their members still alive.
A cruel twist
by Ultra Prime, being procced to half HP by NIP, forcing a ton of those global summoner spells off of Ultra Prime's hands. No teleports now on the solo laners. They have to go for the full 5v5, but now it's Gen.G letting a 2-man taunt, stunning up Zhang before he gets a chance to do anything, and taken down by Leave. A 1-0 so far. Solo kill with the poke execution onto Junhao. But a nice kite away with the depth charge of Zhaosha is going to keep his jungler alive. But NIP, now with the numbers advantage, can go right back to the objective.
It's so tough to answer back into these fights, and they did have ultimates, but no Cyclone here for Junhao means we need to be waiting. We need to bide our time here. Otacon's going to go over to NIP, and what else can Ultra Prime get on the opposite side of the map? A teleport from Gen.G in the mid means that he will pick up this wave, and it'll be a single turret going over to Ultra. All right, Ninjas Pyjamas, they're going to start up this dragon now. Rise has a flank. There is no flash on Saber, no flash on Baya. This is going to be an incredibly tough fight for UP.
Already at 3,000, and nice use of the shield with Duran from Gen.G to make sure there's no possibility for a steal. And already a big chunk onto Junhao makes this fight much harder for Ultra Prime, who are now singled out in the pit. Solar Flare only finds the clone, but the health bars are just fully on NIP's side at this point, with Zhaosha, Zhang, and Junhao chunked to below half. NIP still feel interested in going for a continued play, but it looks like they will instead back away with that soul point in hand.
This Baron, which they have plenty of options to be able to take either.
They don't need to really force anything right now for NIP, which is why they have not started hitting it. Instead, just going for
what the hell?
Bit of a bait. However, Zhaosha just decides to start the fight for them, and the public execution from Solo Kill is going to allow him to 1v1 Baya on the back line. Already a 3-0, but Zhang and Saber are still alive. Realm Warp getting popped by the Rise to allow him to escape, but it'll be the rest of the team falling by his side. A 4-for-2 overall as NIP's
on
top
2 different fronts there coming in from Ninjas in Pyjamas, and exactly the kind of teamwork that I needed to see as we close out this series. The 80 carry dies, who cares? He's still going to have soul, and guess what? We check back into the picture-in-picture right now. Ultra Prime need to do a Desperation Baron attempt, but NIP are already back out.
Already have the soul in hand as well, locking up Saber, forcing him to go golden, but Baya actually taking down Niket to start the fight off. Ultra Prime don't want to play for the finish. They want to play for the fight now that it's a 4v5 with Doinby teleporting in, dashing forward, forcing Bai to flash away. Xiaoxia becoming the target. He gets taken down by Leave. And now it can become Reset City for Nio. He jumps in, using that Heartbreaker to try to find another one. A public execution on Abaya will shut him down once more. And now it's Saber running the wrong way. Away from NIP, but right into their own base. He will get taken down eventually, whether it's by the turret or by solo kill himself. It looks like actually Saber will be able to send him on a wild goose chase far enough, while the rest of NIP will take the Baron down.
All right, boys, let's close this game out now. Baron, Dragon, buff, the soul there. Saber even has to use the Realm Warp to get out. It is not meaningful. The solo lanes, in particular the mid lane, we thought that this Rise was going to have such more of an impact, but the lanes have not been going well. We've not been seeing them trade on the map. Junhao is fighting for his life and is getting another one of his jungle camps taken away.
He's just sitting by the Vaya, who, you know, now at 3 items on the Aphelios could be scary, but not scary enough at this point. As with Baron buff in NIP's hands for the next 2 minutes time. We're going to start cracking open these structures, break open the base, and try to put an end to this series in 2-0 fashion. Look at this, level 17, 3 levels ahead of Vaya at this point, as this Sivir really has come online. Finishing touches soon to come on the bottom side of the map.
Nice shot from the picture-in-picture to show us that Vaya, no flash, no cleanse.
Oh, just Vaya's no chance at this point. Crowd control lock to Oblivion, and then making a double kill, going over to the Viego, who is now 9-0-6. Not the 11-0 just yet that we saw in Game 3. But Nio on this champion going to continue to be a problem on NIP's side. Ultra Prime with one last-ditch effort to save the game. Not going to find any sort of success at this point. The Ket dashes forward with another Zenith Blade, and this should be it. The Nexus has been broken open in NIP with a much cleaner series this time around. Now Solo Kill gets himself a double. The Nexus will be exposed. Those KD is going to get padded. Leave gets himself another, and it'll be a 2-0 success for their unit in this first game.
The early game here is very important here for FPX because eventually Xiaoshu is going to be a problem in this game. He will be a Scion versus an Akali, a Jhin, a Rumble. There is no fun free for Pays and Zhuo to make sure that they can put damage down. And it is going to be that poke variant to the Varus.
Zhuo getting targeted to start off his Gen.G career, chunked down to 100 HP with how Gen.G do want to operate here. A little bit of trading here in the mid lane. Scout getting clocked on that electrocute as Care finds a nice little chunk of damage. And now towards the bot lane we go. Pays getting targeted immediately by a nice flash engage by Jue. And Milky Way dashes the flag. Thought that maybe they would have a decent time going up against a 2v2 that is playing together for the first time in official match play. Jue also teleporting in with that Summoner Spellbook. Not at level 6 just yet though, and that could be crucial as we get the grub started up by both of these teams. Jue using the Hex Flash, not finding an engage just yet. First grub secured by Milky Way, but now Carrot to flash away. Unstoppable Onslaught into the pit. And it now means that Gen.G control the area. Decimating Smash lands just onto the Jarvan, but now he's looking to go in, find a Cataclysm onto somebody, but he's not going to be able to use it. Pays will take him down, using that Chain of Corruption to make sure that ulti could not be used. And now Jachi looking for as much as he can with the curtain call, but overall it with Shun heading back to base.
Jachi also putting himself on the top side of the map with these 2 grubs, going to get himself a plate. He is only 2 CS behind. FPX are in a massive advantage state here.
And Jue has his flash, has the Magnet Storm, looking for something, but Care gets caught out on the flank. Chain of Corruption comes down, and the Akali, it might just fall before she can even do any damage. Xiaoshu picks him up with the choo-choo train, and now Scout coming in with the Weaver's Wall, forcing Sheer to flash on out. A crucial mistake by the FPX mid laner will give JD Gaming the opportunity to secure the Herald.
Finally, a spot for them to finish this objective. At 17.5 minutes. This is exactly the kind of early game that they needed. Yes, there's been some hiccups here. Sheer should be able to live. Equalizer comes down. That's the wave gone. And this is good. This is still great here for FPX.
And so maybe, just maybe, Care dying was not in vain. as it will be Soul Point
As
secured.
important right now, I think what you're looking for is to break open mid and make it difficult for FPX to more meaningfully walk around the map.
Ooh, Zhuo going for the quickness, finding two members with the charm and forcing Jachi to flash away, but now Jue's gonna get caught out as well. Another chain of corruption comes through from Pays, and he'll snipe him down with the empowered arrow, making it 3-for-1. That's Feats of Warfare going over to JD Gaming and giving themselves the feats of strength.
Yeah, but like, why are we teleporting? I know I'm like nitpicking now for JDG, but that teleport from Xiaoshu feels very over complicated. We did not need to be using these summoner spells. You've given Akali a lane now. She's not gonna be able to take the turret thanks to Scout arriving, but Care is going to walk and see if they can flank onto Pays through mid lane. Let's see if they can make this engagement. Pays still has flash.
Milky Way looking for something. The Deadly Flourish lands on to Shun, but now the Unstoppable Onslaught comes through. Milky Way once again going to die without issuing that Cataclysm. And a crucial death onto the FPX jungler will give JDG free reign to start up the Otacon once again.
But FPX, they can stall this out, and remember, a minute before the Soul, even if JDG get the Otacon, if this takes too long or they get reset on it, that could be very dangerous and a massive problem for JDG to deal with. But instead, FPX, I don't know why they're not just pushing forward. It's going to take them a long time. They barely get any damage on the mid lane turret.
Yes, it's very difficult to do anything given what Xiaoshu and Pays were
Even
able to
nearby,
do.
and you would have gotten a curtain call, yes, but guess what? Zhuo was in the area. He would have been able to block at least some of them with the quickness. So I think a lot of mistakes coming on through. It's Zhuo finding Milky Way and Jue, and now Dragon spawns in 10. Care needs to get a teleport in, and this needs to be the fight for FPX that breaks the game for them.
Yeah, because the scaling from JDG really starting to come online as you see Xiaoshu approaching 1,000 Soul Furnace stacks, already at 2 completed items, and not going to get any weaker as this game progresses. Care will get that tier 1 turret, and maybe FPX will feel comfortable giving up this dragon if it means finding some of their standing gold, but I feel like at this point they want the 5v5.
JDG already got their kills, they already got their turrets.
Corruption lands on Jue, but it's going to cost Zhuo a lot of HP, maybe even his life as Sheer flashes forward. The dragon gets secure, but it's a 1-for-1. Support for jungler in favor of JDG for now. Fully charged Q into the hands of JDG. And the equalizer does a lot of damage, but it's not going to be enough. A double kill picked up here for Xiaoshu, and FPX just dropped like flies as JD Gaming pick up 4 kills for the price of 1, and might be a 5th as Jachi gets a huge seismic shove caught on top of him. Shun dashing forward and making it all 5.
There we go, a full-on ace, the dragon to stop it, and they
it
get
just
the...
seems like another situation where FPX is not fully on the same page. Nobody knows when exactly the right point is to go in.
Zhuo, what are we doing?
Milky Way has used his ult once until I say that and tries to find something onto Zhuo. But it's not going to find anything else as he's able to dash away. Care actually nearly getting assassinated here. This just takes a lot of damage on the... I mean, if you don't end it here, like off of this push, you can always turn back to the Baron, which is just spawn. And at this point, it should be pretty easy for JDG to start up on their own. Remember,
by that point, the game's already over.
Yeah, I mean, staring at a 6,000 gold deficit, FPX just have them try to make a play happen right now. They'll try to do so again onto the new support of JDG, but he just takes up so much damage, and eventually will just force Jue to go down here thanks to the piercing arrow. Now Xiaoshu can teleport in, utilize that unstoppable onslaught, and on the backside of things, not even Milky Way can do anything about it. Finally, the curtain call will help Pays go down, but it'll cost FPX 3 members as JDG get all of the gold that they want and can start up this Baron.
They needed to have much better coordination here. If Jachi steals this with a Deadly Flourish, then hooray, you've stalled the game for 3 minutes. And it's not even gonna... 2.5 minutes? He will have Infinity Edge. And we'll be very happy. Then we can start rejoicing. Even though I think the game is already kind of doomed at this point, with JDG now picking up their 2nd dragon of the game, and they still have Baron in front of the minute and a half. Maybe they find a pick here. I don't know. They're going to have to make a pretty disgusting base defense if they want any chance here.
Have to try to find something. Milky Way looking for the flag and drag, realizing, hey, Xiaoshu maybe not the target that I'm looking for at this point. The poke damage not doing anything, and now it's actually just going to be Sheer getting targeted instead. Flashes over the Weaver's wall, will be able to live while being overheated. But now FPX have to take a couple of resets, and that allows more time for JDG to break over the base.
Good luck trying to clear any of these waves. You're going to have a Talia, and you're going to have a Varus just aiming for you, gunning to try to take you down here. FPX lose their bottom lane inhibitor. No mid wave to push on yet.
Oh. Milky Way gets taken down again. Flash Smite, or Cataclysm, everything available for him. But just the sheer amount of crowd control on JDG is enough to take him down. Joy's the next target. Already a 2-0 in the base of FPX. And it should be more very, very soon. Care goes down, Pays gets himself kill number 6, and Sheer will hand him over a double kill to wrap up this game number 1. An absolute clinic from JDG in their new debut with their new roster, as FPX never stood a chance as JDG go up on the series 1-0.
This is what we saw from them in game number 1 of the last. I think he could have gone for other things we've seen from them this year. The Lee Sin would have been a little too squishy, but gives you that ability to kick. I would have actually liked to see maybe a Nocturne to try to hide this Nico later on into team fights, but we're getting a lot of frontline here. So IYY is going to get this dragon. So I wonder, I am not the biggest expert on experience from Dragon. I don't think he's going to hit level 6, but if he just walks through mid lane and steals it, like literally a single minion, he'll hit level 6 once he finishes his Dragon. Yeah.
You actually predicted that perfectly. He's like literally one minion.
At least from previous years. So not all that much of a big change there, but we engage on to Jway.
Yeah, Sean landing that Glacial Prison easily. Jway will get knocked down for first blood, but now here comes IYY going forward and taking down Scout, who's not able to find anything with his Emperor's Divide and dives with his flash up. A 1-for-1 overall.
They now have themselves 2 dragons here, and they'll be able to make a play without Scout or without Shin having flash for FunPlus. They need to keep the pace of the game very fast. Another 3.5 minutes here. Oh no.
Sean has found out IYY. Maybe greeting for an extra camp. Not worth it this time around, as there's that Renekton Sejuani combo. As Jashu gets the kill onto the Pantheon.
On the bottom side of the map. Pantheon is flying on through. Oh no, Scout, you just used Q!
Yep, and now he gets the Emperor's Divide off. And the flash already used, but now the dive can commence with Jway on the way. Depth charge comes out, Scout using the shifting stance to try to get away, but here comes that crowd control chain, and it will be Scout going down for the second time. Xiaoshu jumping in with the dominance, going to try to make things happen in a 3v1. He'll at least get the first kill, but the Herald will be used by Jway to escape, and Care has a charm and has enough crowd control to keep himself alive.
Man, that's so tough. Jwo gets engaged. Kaisa can fly through. That's the flash away. He's going to get out. And the teleport finally matched by Sheer.
Who are looking rather clean with the new 5-man roster that they have with Jwo.
Oh
so
no.
Continue to look for some aggressive plays, this time again onto IYY. But now the re-engage can come through. Care landing a charm onto Xiaoshu, instantly bursting him down. Scout with the Emperor's Divide is going to knock 2 of them away as FPX want to continue the chase. But a nice disengage from JDG will mean it's only Xiaoshu to go down, but it'll come at the cost of Soul Point getting picked up.
Opening up a lead between him and Care.
Is it going to be worth it if it comes at the cost of some of your other members not being as strong, or is Scout's going to continue to get caught out like he has been in some of these recent fights? We will
see. This Rift's already half HP, and it is only barely Care in the area, and there's this Azir turret.
Teleport is in from Sheer on the flank, but it's going to be far too late. IYY just walks into the pit, but he already is just going to see the Yatacon fall in the hands of JDG. Now the fight can begin, though. A charm lands on the shun. IYY going to stun him up, but a 3-man pop blossom comes through from Jwo, and the newer member of JDG going to try to break open this team fight. Xiaoshu dashing forward with the slice and dice, taking down Sheer, flashing out Najachi, and finishing off FunPlus Phoenix. That is a 5-for-0, baby. A triple kill picked up for Pays.
And now they're going to be able to play on 2 ways into the rest of this game. Dragon spawns in a minute, and that is going to be a fight that FPX need to win.
I don't know if they're going to be able to. Infernal Soul that's spawning in about 5 seconds time, but JDG are prepared for it. They're up 6,000 gold, and they've already found out IYY. Did not get hit by the Glacial Prison, but now going to get collapsed upon by Pays. That Aegis is going to keep alive for a little bit longer, but finally Xiaoshu will knock him down. First casualty in favor. Scout with the Emperor's Divide will land it onto 2. Pop Blossom not going to find too much, but Pays with the killer instinct will dive into the back line. Try to take down Jachi and do so successfully. And it's another 4 kills in the hands of JD Gaming. Care trying to take down Xiaoshu to make it some sort of a reprieve. But FPX just continue to get slaughtered in this series.
As a 5-man, IYY is too far up. I can't wait to take a look at this replay because this is another game in a row where Jway is...
Scout and Xiaoshu hunting Shun has his Glacial Prison up in 2 seconds.
Oh, Joue's dead.
Immediately onto Jouet, and Jouet goes in with the Pop Blossom as well. He gets bursted down, and now Sheer goes all out, gets sent back in by Scout, and it's already a 2-for-1 in favor of JD Gaming. IYY looking to go forward. Karen, Dachi still do a lot of damage. There goes Paige with the Killer Instinct. They find the Corki and be able to take him down. Karen, though, dashing in, nearly takes down the Kaisa, but he will be able to survive. It's a double kill for Paige.
Gold lead here. Gen.G look like they are performing, but this is one of the series that we had them having to win.
That as you fall further behind, becomes much harder to find opportunities with. Is not having himself the best go of things, and Jouet got some nice engages on the Nico himself in his first series with JD Gaming. And now the Baron for the next 2 minutes. Do what they did in game number 1, slowly and methodically try to choke out FPX and give themselves the win.
Sashi's going to push on 2 waves. I love this play. Keep using the Baron. It's up for another 2 minutes. We do not have to start the Dragon that spawns in 15. Let's put our opponents on the timer here. We can look for an end if multiple members go down. Any kind of team fight here from Gen.G ends up in a win in their position. Now with the Azir turret, I mean, FPX, they got so close to Souls twice now, and it is not panned out.
It's interesting to see Gen.G play a little bit more on the reserve side. I feel like if you have Baron buff and you're up this far ahead, why even bother?
Oh, this would be the worst case scenario for us.
So he charms Shun. Still not going to work out very much for him, and now IYY is going to get targeted, and Shun will finally get some revenge from all the camp stealing that IYY did in the early game by getting a kill onto him at the 30-minute mark of this game number 2. Now a numbers advantage opened up for Gen.G. They have the Baron buff for 1 more wave. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to use it to break open.
What are we doing? Some of this positioning, you were like, hey, we have Baron, why don't we just push the waves? We're kind of seeing that Gen.G may be a little slow to that one right now. Probably going to be on this next wave that they'll look to take this turret. Scout very, very far ahead at this point. And we're just watching to see how Gen.G close this one out with a 12,000.
Hey, this is the this is Joue's influence coming in. This is the LNG style.
Oh,
you know?
oh, yeah. So if he's gonna have his influence, and they lose this game, right?
Keep the game.
Would you say that Jouer is operating under the influence?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that we have a good chance here to start another engage here. As Shun going in with the Glacier Prison onto Sheer. Jouer finding a depth charge onto Paze, but he cleanses out and should still be untouched for now. That's 1 kill. Now we will go in and look for a 2nd. Killer Instinct for a 3rd. Paze looking to do another pentakill moment. They're looking just for IYY. Scout's going to try to buy some time. Send the Kaisa in to try to hand Paze an LPL pentakill.
Last time it happened, it got stolen, and Paze finally gets his pentakill. This week we've been getting a lot of them. Gala has 2 of them, and now Paze gets to join the list. There it is. A great one, and finally the end to this series. Gen.G 2-0 over FunPlus Phoenix.
Penta number 5 in game 101. Not bad ratios here for Paze, as him and Gen.G looking revitalized here with their new support. Jouer comes in and helps Gen.G win the series 2-0.